Final Destination. Let's talk about that real quick. I want to go back in time and talk about the original one. I do remember it coming out in the early 2000s, and in my opinion, it was very original. I love the concept. It was just very chilling. I remember everybody talking about it. It had a word of mouth thing, like, "Hey, dude, it's pretty cool. Like, death is just like this entity. It just shows up, and if you cheat death doesn't like you fucking with its timeline, and it's going to come back and get you and all that stuff." So it was very original, and I think the deaths in the first one were just like kind of chilling. I mean, we've all seen deaths in movies, right? We've all seen, people get killed in movies in all types of ways, but the original brought a sense of realism, in my opinion. Like a sense of realism because of how they died. And I think the first movie was just an airplane crash, right? And so forth. And the second one has the infamous log scene with the tractor trailer, things of that nature. So it always had original kills. But I think this is the sixth installment that we just saw. But I think by the fourth or fifth, we all knew the cadence of the movies. We know what was going to happen, right? So, there's a big premonition at the beginning of the film. Somebody snaps out of it, and, they tell people to get off the bus or whatever the case, and they go, and then death kind of follows them along the way. So we've seen that. And again, the formula, maybe it ran dry a little bit, but they were always fun. I mean, you walk into these movies and they're fun movies. You know what to expect, right? So you're not expecting a Shakespearean, Coen Brothers script. It's going to be a fun movie. So let me go ahead and preface that. So I'll go ahead and start with the pros for Final Destination Bloodlines, okay? The pros for me is the movie is very self-aware of what it is, and it pokes fun at itself. It's kind of like, in the movies in Scream, where they kind of like joke with the jump scare, or do you think somebody's right behind the refrigerator and the character closes it and there's nobody there? There's a lot of sequences in this movie where they're kind of poking fun at some of the old deaths. Somebody standing in the street and like, "Hey, what can go wrong?" And then a bus comes out of nowhere. They kind of poke fun at that. So I did enjoy that. They're self-aware and they're having fun with the concept and the mythology of it, right? The characters, they are, I guess, likable. I mean, they're all more or less the same. And I was kind of curious who the characters would be, because the movie starts off with this young woman. She's a college student. She's having 2 months worth of nightmares, and the nightmare is the same nightmare. And if you've seen the trailer of the movie, there's a sequence on top. It's like an older sequence of like people in a restaurant, like in a tower, like in San Antonio that we have here. Anyway, she goes to her family trying to investigate why these nightmares are coming from. She thinks it's maybe tied to her family. And you're thinking, who's going to be the people that are going to die in this movie? Because you have a dad and a younger brother, and then they meet another family, and then you have all the young adults. So I'm like, oh, okay, these are the people that death's going to kill. Okay, so that was kind of funny how they set that up. But you do like the characters. I mean, it's a close family, and again, you do feel for them in some way before they die. So I will give them that. They're not just the mortar. They're that you actually feel for the characters. So there's that. I'm an old school guy, so I love the fact that they make great use of Air Supply's song, Without You. There's a great scene when it comes to that. And the kills, as always. I mean, we all go to these movies for one reason, right? We all go to these movies for one reason, and that's the kills, right? The gore, and the originality of them, how they're going to do it. And this movie does have some fun kills, and it's amazing. This one movie has one kill that may be one of my favorites of the series. It was just very original. I'm not going to give any spoilers on that, but I was really like, oh, okay. They went all out here. So I think you'll know what I'm talking about. It involves 2 people. So I really did enjoy that. And again, one of my favorite kills of the series so far. Also, this had Tony Todd's last performance. So shout out to Tony Todd, Candyman himself. He was a classic icon. And I know this is his last role. He did look very ill. I don't know if I don't know what he died from, to be honest, but he did look relatively ill in this one scene, but he owned it. Tony Todd's voice has always been it's like what you know him for. And again, he owned that scene, and it was nice to see him on the screen one last time. Now, as far as the cons, I'll just be honest with you. I mean, it comes down to this. Hold on one second.
It's the same shit. The same shit.
It's the same thing. I was actually sitting in the movie, and again, I'm enjoying it. And again, I'm walking into this movie. It's a Final Destination movie. Okay. I know what to expect, because there's 5 other films before this that all, we know what to walk into. So I walked in, and it's the same thing. You know how these movies go. There's a big premonition sequence at the beginning, right? There's a little twist to this one. I'm not going to say anything else outside of that. But death is cheated, and death wants its death. Death wants its bodies, right? He racks bodies, so death is going to go after these people, and it's not just a group. I mean, Bloodlines, you find out that there's more people involved in death being cheated, so you get like a history of all the movies. It kind of ties the movies together, but not really. And again, I want to be very careful with my wording here, but it does kind of tie everything together. And like, oh, okay, that's something different. Okay, now it all kind of makes sense. So I will give it that for giving us just a dash worth of like something different, a little bit of originality. But again, if you've seen one movie, you've seen them all. And again, if you know the gimmick, you know the cadence, you know what you're going to expect. So if you love the original movies, if you love all the previous 5, and you're going in to have a good time to see some people get killed in original ways, that is what you're going to get. That is exactly what you're going to get. Some people may be bored of seeing the same shit over and over again. Some people know what they're going into. They're paying their money. They're going to get the same product they've always got in return. You're going to get that. So is the gimmick running its course? Maybe, maybe not. But again, in my opinion, there's every franchise, every horror franchise does the same thing. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason, and there's some originality as the movies go on, and sometimes the movies just run their course. In my opinion, the one franchise that's been consistently great in doing the same thing, but bringing a different energy because of the cast involved is Scream. In my opinion, Scream is a fantastic series. And again, it's the same bullshit. You don't know who the ghost killer is, Ghostface. You don't know who he is, but there's always a twist, and they always kind of tie it back to the previous films. And I've never guessed correctly, except for the last one with Jack Quaid, because it was pretty obvious. But those movies all do the same thing. But again, it's the cast that brings a different type of energy to the movies, and they're all entertaining. With this movie, again, it's more or less the same. And I will give this movie a slight bump above the other Final Fantasy movies because, again, I had some emotional ties to the cast in this film. Like usually you don't care if somebody dies in a movie, but here I actually cared. I'm like, okay, that kind of sucked, but you kind of felt for them. But again, it's the same thing. You're going to get the same experience. So take that for what it's worth. Do I recommend seeing it? If you're a fan of the franchise and this is like a date night movie and all your friends going in, you love the franchise and you're expecting the same thing, yeah, then go see it. Absolutely. If you're tired of the same gimmick and you maybe got bored around 4 or 5, then don't go. But again, I know what I was walking into, so I'm giving it a thumbs up. Go check it out. You're getting the same energy, same fun, and you know what to expect.
Cody and CP, 2 hearts entwined, bonded by love and a cinematic mind. They love late night horror, shadows and chills.